Randy, what are your thoughts on how to embed security responsibility throughout an organization?
It's a tough challenge. I think it takes leadership throughout the organization. One, recognition at a high level that that's the approach that has to be taken. So recognition driven at a high level, but then engagement of the senior level leadership on what you're trying to accomplish. How do you assess risk? How do you quantify risk? How do you prioritize risk? And then how do you engage in mitigation strategy development? I think it's all those pieces. So one, driven from a high level, but two, education and understanding around what you're trying to accomplish and moving the ball in the direction you need it to go.
You know, when you're dealing with the C-level suites now and you're dealing with management that understands risk now and really is on a mission to mitigate it and, you know, protect not only the brand but, you know, assets, people, and employees, how much easier does it make your job as a security professional? And, you know, how do you keep that buy-in top of mind?
I think there are two pieces. I think they're being educated on risk or becoming more knowledgeable about risk, especially in the security arena, right? And what that means, especially for the organization and some of the events that have occurred. But from our perspective, from a security practitioner perspective, we've got to be able to talk to them in those terms of risk. And sometimes it's really challenging to quantify a security issue threat in a perspective of risk. But it's critical to communicating with senior executives. Once you can talk in that language, it's relatively easy because you're on the same page. And then they can determine and prioritize what risk they have in front of them.
You know, what are some of the things now that are keeping you up at night?
I think that the thing that's keeping me up at night today is 10 years ago when I started this security program, I knew that it had to change. It had to evolve to meet the risk questions, to be able to quantify the risk and what it looked like to communicate that. Today, I find myself in the same position of saying it's time to change again because the dynamics of the world are changing. The threats are coming faster, they're more robust. Some of the resources that we once counted on from a law enforcement perspective may be becoming overwhelmed. And so it's time to evolve security again, and how do you do that to keep in front of the curve? I mean, that's what's keeping me up at night.